So, March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and I have been meaning all month to post something, to write about it, do a video or something, and I haven't been able to hadn't been able to figure out what I wanted to say or how I wanted to say it, and it's hard. So I figured I might as well just kind of talk facts. My facts, my truth. And that is, I was diagnosed after I had experienced pain and bleeding that we thought was from my Crohn's, but it wasn't. We found the tumor during a colonoscopy to check on the Crohn's, and a biopsy of that showed precancer. And then I was sent to other doctors, and the surgeon wanted to do a bigger biopsy. So I went into the OR room, and he pulled a biopsy from that, which showed cancer. I also almost needed a transfusion that day because just where it was and everything, I was just bleeding so much. I lost so much blood. I'm surprised I didn't have one, and I think they were too at the hospital. Anyway, so it was stage 3. Basically, it was generalized in the one area. It was on 4 lymph nodes, I think, 4 to 6, and it was starting to encroach on nearby tissue, but it hadn't metastasized or anything, which is a good thing. And then from there, you all know, radiation, chemo. I just shared the video of my recent colonoscopy and how that showed the surrounding tissue had 0 cancer cells, which is amazing. I still need to do a sigmoidoscopy to kind of decide what exactly we're gonna do. For surgery, there's gonna be surgery regardless. But the biggest thing is advocate for yourself. I have learned that the hard way these past at least 10 years and more. Just even trying to get the diagnosis for Crohn's. And I've just had so many doctors tell me, oh, it's just your anxiety or it's just stress. And it's because of the Crohn's that we found the cancer. And so Crohn's sucks, cancer sucks more, but without the Crohn's, I don't know when we would have found it, because they said that we found it as early as we could have. And to think about all those people who get that pushback when they're concerned, not just for colorectal, but for breast cancer, any type of cancer, there's just so much pushback, especially for colorectal cancer, for younger people. That's just so hard to get screened, especially if you don't have colorectal cancer in your family history. And it sucks. It shouldn't be that way. Colorectal cancer is becoming more prevalent, and especially in people younger than 45, which is what I believe the preventative screening colonoscopies are. And even that was just recently pushed back. That used to be 50, but now it's at 45. But you're hearing more and more these days about people in their 20s, people in their 30s who are getting diagnosed with this. And it's just, I've read so many stories, I've heard from so many people that they had to almost lie to get these tests done. And I'm just flabbergasted by that, and I'm so thankful I didn't have to deal with that, because that's insane. I'm very thankful for my medical team now and pre-cancer, and I'm so thankful that I have them moving forward. And it's just insane to me. And what I'm about to say isn't to diminish any other type, but it makes me sad that this isn't something that I hear about very often. I don't really hear about colorectal cancer, and in doing my research, it is a top 5 cancer, and I didn't know that beforehand. And it's just, there are so many different types of cancer out there, and I don't think we learn about all of them. I know we don't learn about all of them. There's the few staple ones that you do learn about, which is so important, but I also think it's so important to learn about other kinds, because otherwise you don't know the symptoms, you don't know the signs, and all of that stuff. And because it's just, I was bleeding and I had pain, and that's pretty normal for me, but it's not normal at all. It shouldn't be normal, and at the first sign of that, I should have gone in, but it took me time. And then even then, I had gone in, and they're like, oh, it's this, this, or this, and it was none of that. And I don't blame doctors. I could have advocated better. I didn't know what it could be. What they were saying is what I thought too. And that's where I think education is very important. And all of that. And just talking about your story, I think, is so important too, because just as I believe with mental health and all of that stuff, hearing the stories of other people helps you feel not alone. These are times that you feel so alone, and because you're very supported and you have an amazing support system. I have an amazing support system. But most of those people don't know what you're going through. So I want to share my story just so people know, and so people know that they can reach out to me. And even if we don't have the same type, at least it's someone who kind of understands. Because finding that group of people, finding the people in this horrible, horrible club, it's the worst club with some of the best people, and finding these people has changed the game, and I wish I found them sooner. So the point of this is to tell people to advocate for yourself. It is so important, and I know you probably hear that everywhere, but it is so important. If something is wrong with you, you of all people know that something is wrong. Second opinions are a thing, and don't let your doctors make you feel like crap because you want a second opinion. Education, learn about other things, even if it's not in your family. It can happen to you, and just learn about what's out there. Do it in a way that you can handle it. I know if I go down too deep of rabbit holes, it's not good for me, but even starting that process is good. And share your stories. It is so important. Even if you feel like it's like, oh my gosh, poor me, which sometimes, yeah, that's needed to get it out, but also it helps, whether you know it or not, whether you see it or not, it helps people. So during this colorectal awareness month, I share my story so people know they're not alone, so people know they can reach out to me, and just listen to your body and know that there are so many different types out there. and it's scary, but it happens. Yeah, that's all I got.